What's up guys? Leona recently came out of the shade, so let me shed some light on the changes from patch 6.14. Leona's passive, Sunlight, Q, Shield of Daybreak, W, Eclipse, and R, which is Solar Flare, now all deal less damage at later ranks. However, the Q has improved cooldown reduction and a slight increase in range, and R now has a new passive which slightly increases Leona's attack range for up to 5 seconds or the next 5 basic attacks, and also allows those attacks to deal additional bonus magic damage and apply the passive as well. Despite having lower damage outputs after the update, the improvements to Leona's crowd control and abilities are worth appreciating that she is now more team orientated and she has higher potential to peel. To conclude with the ultimate changes, the range isn't exactly that much to rave about, but the addition of the passive is excellent. Now my choice of skill order with Leona has not changed despite the cooldown being lowered on Q. In the last Leona guide that I made, viewers were discussing in the comments the option of maxing E second for improved engage. My general plan is to increase my defense and then improve my peel potential before my engage potential, but whatever floats your boat until the sun rises. My choice of masteries reflect my need for increased movement speed, bonus defense to myself and others, as well as increased utility, and my choice of runes consist of magic resistance, health, armor, and movement speed. Together with the masteries, these accommodate my playstyle with Leona. It's tempting to play aggressive and go for kills, and bot lane is where I tend to try and take the lead early, as this maximizes my potential come mid game. The movement speed helps you engage and the defense helps you survive. For some of the spells I of course take flash, and I often take ignite if I feel like I want the kill potential, especially against healers. However, exhaust is my choice if I'm up against enemies who can potentially execute my carry in seconds. My choice of items with Leona has always been very versatile come late game. My core consists of Sightstone and Face of the Mountain, and Locket of the Iron Solari against AP enemies, otherwise go Dead Man's Plate first. I go for the mobility boots for the increased roam and engage potential, or boots of speed against enemies with multiple slows, or Mercury treads with multiple enemy crowd control spells. The final options of my items always reflect what I'm playing against. Any questions or other suggestions that you'd like to talk about, just drop a comment below. Now that we've covered all of that, let's get into Leona's playstyle and strengths. Obviously the most optimal thing would be to have freedom to engage and burst enemies down whenever you wanted, but you have to engage with intelligence. Pick your timing, and this will help you get ahead early and stay ahead. When enemies have cooldowns on summoner spells or abilities, they want to farm minions, or have less life than you and they overextend, you want to look for an engage. But always take note of map awareness and don't engage if you're uncertain of enemy positions or teleport cooldowns, because once you do, it can be difficult to escape. Sustained supports such as Soraka, Bard, and Sona don't pose much of a threat to Leona in comparison to how much she intimidates them. Get ahead early with a smart engage, otherwise their sustained could win them the lane over time. Now mage supports can be more tricky, because if you're hit by any of their poke or crowd control, your engage potential can be squashed. Tank and engage based supports can also be difficult, as they can often have equal crowd control abilities, or they can have spells that could negate the engaging aspects of your skill set. In my opinion, Alistar, Thresh, Janna, or Lulu can all be difficult for Leona, especially if the enemy knows how to counter you. My recommendation of your lane partner will be choices such as Tristana, Corki, Lucian, or even Miss Fortune. Throwing yourself onto the enemy with an ally that has high mobility and burst can reduce your chances of being punctured by the enemy early. To achieve an advantage, ensure that you engage smartly and that your AD carry is actually able to reposition and follow up with the burst with an effective attack or spell rotation to synergize with the timing of your passive procs. As you progress and collect items, the team fights are going to start. Use your hypermobility with the Dead Man's Plate and the boots to flank fights from the side and behind to take down priority targets. Learn to master the timing of Zenith Blade by casting it just in time for the blade to land after enemy CC hits you. This allows you to still advance to the enemy and secure kills. If you're going to roam with Leona, you have to make sure it's an effective moment. If your lane's frozen and your AD carries farming, you need to make sure that if you do roam, you're not going to deny him XP or gold. You also have to make sure that the destination that you're roaming to has a target that you can actually kill. For example, I wouldn't roam to kill Katarina, as it probably wouldn't pay off. Remember, you can always use your flash Q for an instant engage, and a final reminder to stay map aware before you do so. And a final tip is that it's really easy to clear wards with Leona. If you suspect an enemy's about to place it, be ready to auto attack and follow up with Q to reset your auto attack and clear it before it becomes hidden. Other than that, I can't think of any other habits that I have with Leona, and I apologise for my lack of puns in this video. I'm not exactly the best when it comes to making jokes about the sun. Anyway, I hope you've had a brightful experience watching this. If you did, and you happen to have a query, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!